Tuesday, more than 20 people met at Montgomery Hall Park for the premiere of Staunton's public needs hearing.
This was our first public meeting to gather input on from citizens wanting to gather input from citizens, wanting to share with the consultant and the team about what they believe are housing needs that should be addressed in the city of Staunton.
Billy Vaughn is Staunton's Community and Economic Development Director. Vaughn says the city brought in a Pennsylvania agency which has worked with other cities in Virginia,
such as Harrisonburg, Greensboro, like 7 localities within the state of Virginia. So through the proper procurement process, we're fortunate enough to get this group to help us.
Bill Wazaleski with Mullen and Lonergan Associates explained the Community Development Block Grant.
There's various eligible activities such as home ownership, such as housing rehabilitation, demolition, property acquisition, a lot of activities that are eligible for communities to be able to further and improve their communities.
The CGB grant is a federal entitlement program which addresses housing and community development needs.
First year they're getting $354,433, and each year subsequent to this they'll get an allocation similar, not exact, based on the allocation at the federal level, federal budget once it's approved every year.
Allison told the group her landlord recently sold the house where she and her family were staying.
Right now I have to be out by June 30th and I have nowhere to go, and I prepared a bunch of ideas because I'm just desperate for the money to do something, like you said, affordable rental housing. Well, first of all, you had the plan states that the city will conduct at least one public meeting in a neighborhood that contains at least 51% low and moderate income residents. And I would urge you to have most of your meetings in those neighborhoods, including at the public project-based voucher locations, because those people, I think, are going to be directly impacted by any decisions that are made.
Affordable housing was one of the main topics residents testified about during the hearing.
For most people in this country, the idea of wealth is not attainable except through owning houses, and then that value is passed on through generation after generation, and discriminatory housing practices have robbed generations of minority families of that capital that white families have had access to for decades.
One resident says she's not happy with contractors who were chosen by the city.
Like, say if you get these programs, some of them to come in and do work to your house. I don't know how much money they got, but they do shoddy work in your house. It's terrible.
Any contractor that would be doing work under this program would have to get the proper permits, permits, electrical, plumbing, whatever. And then the city would inspect the work as they go through the project. So there would not be any shoddy work being done.
Other Staunton city officials attended the meeting, including school board member Kenneth Venable and city councilwoman Brenda Mead.
I was thrilled that so many people showed up to give us their input, to use $1,500,000 over a 5-year period of time to really do something that will impact the community and benefit the community as a whole.
Vaughn says the residents' concerns that were mentioned during the meeting will be addressed by the city.
Elderly population as well as low moderate income have legitimate concerns regarding affordable housing in the city of Staunton. And through this process, hopefully that we can address this, maybe not in the next year, within the next 5 years, where we can designate areas or structures for affordable housing.
In Staunton, Elaine Rackley for Breaking Through News.